So that Partscaster that we kind of put together was the main guitar I used for all the lead work on that, lead and rhythm stuff we did on that. And then as far as pedals, the two really important ones on there. One was I've got a Slash signature wah pedal, and there's wah all over the place, and that was
I like the wah.
that was one piece. Slash was a huge influence on me. I remember that was like, because of my age and because of this media the way that it is, I found out about a lot of people and a lot of music I love really backwards. I didn't find out about them until they were late in their careers, and then just worked my way back. But I remember seeing him in a music video for.
Yeah, you don't see those much anymore.
Yeah, well,
not like the old days. MTV and VH1.
It wasn't with Guns. It was before they got back together. It was Velvet Revolver, another project he was with most of the guys from Guns, and it was for the original Fantastic Four movie they put out. They did a song for that soundtrack, and we're watching this, and there's this dude with this long hair. I just had a little cheap Strat. That was what I first started on, and in the music video, he's got a big Marshall half stack and a Les Paul, and then this wah pedal strung out there with cables to it. And I was watching, going, "What is he doing there? What is that? What makes that sound?" Trying to piece that together, and I was like, "I'm gonna have to have one of those." And so once I got good enough to warrant having some extra stuff to play with, that was one of the first things I got, and I've had it for a long time. It's one of the old 18-volt one of the early ones they put out, and then I've got a hand-built fuzz pedal that was actually a tube that's built into it, hand built by a small,
speaking my language,
by a small builder, built for another local guy who's big into jazz fusion, all kinds of stuff, and so it was something he had built for himself personally, and then just passed it along. And so those were two of the big deals. And then on all the slide stuff, I've played slide. Maybe not well, but I've played slide for a number of years and tried brass, glass, everything they make them out of. And
it's all about the feel, man.
Yeah, but what I settled on, that's what's on this record that I've used for the last few years that I love, is actually a Joe Perry signature slide that's ceramic. And It's a lot warmer sounding. It has the warmth of glass, but the polished feel of brass, but without the metallic overtones. And the inside of it is unfinished porcelain, and so it kind of absorbs your sweat a little bit, which is something that no other slide does.
Obviously,
I know right off your finger.
I was excited I can't even tell you how excited I was once I heard that first chop come out on Shit Show, but
that was got to be the wah pedals in there, front center on that one.
That too, but you hear that a lot. But the slide, you talked about it, and then another one of those. It was kind of an impromptu song. I mean, it's called Friday Night, and it's about a last minute trip to Medicine Park on a Friday. We weren't sure we were going to get to go. It was a long day for us there at work. I think we left the ranch at like 5:15. We get down there late. We both look at each other and we're like, all right, we're in Medicine Park tonight. We're not going to stay out late.
Yeah, famous last
And we get down there and, it's just one of those nights where the music's good. It's electric. You just know it feels good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And honestly, like I said, a lot of those moments like that, for me personally, are why I want to do this again. Yeah. I mean, it's just fun.
Well, I think it bears mentioning, because you've brought it up a few times, but I think one of the other big catalysts behind all of this coming to fruition as it has is Medicine Park. I mean, it's obviously a big point of inspiration for you, and but just that part of Oklahoma has been special
instrumentally
to both of us. Yeah, I remember my grandfather talking about he was born in Western Oklahoma, born in Cotton Patch there, but he grew up when he was really young in Lawton, and so his dad would take him up to. Of course, Medicine Park at that time was, still a small little touristy place,
Not
but
like
not
it
like
is
it is
now.
now. And
Yeah, not like
so
it is now.
very sleepy little town just right down there at the foothills. But he talked about Mount Scott and all the things. I've got pictures of him with all his parents and siblings up on top. I think everybody's got pictures at this point. If you're Oklahoma native, you've been down there. There's a picture of you on top of Mount Scott. And so it was almost like
which is amazing because there's a lot of people that have never even heard of it.
It was true, yeah. But he always talked about it with just this reverence of just it's wonderful. This place is really special to him, and he was a traveling salesman for a number of years, and that was part of his territory. And so he would go down there and sit on the top of Mount Scott, and really early in the morning talk about there would be fighter jets doing maneuvers and stuff. They'd come out of Altus, and there'd be artillery fire from Fort Sill,
awesome.
and they would do these mock things back and forth.
And I mean, it's again, it's just the idea of everything combined. You've got the mountains. They've got a history of music festivals, and just nature and being there. Native Americans. I mean, it's an incredible place.
I think I went when I was maybe, I don't know, 12 or 13, finally, when he talked me into just going down there and driving around for the day. But it was always like this rite of passage of this place I'd heard him talk about my whole life. And to see it, it's just one of the most beautiful places in the state. And so it's fitting that it's an inspiration for, the feel, the lifestyle, a lot of the things that inspired some of the songs on this record that's a big part of it.
You mentioned that. So Mount Scott was a big part of the idea behind Free Spirit. Honestly, down there we have a term called parkies, depending on who you ask, they'll give you a definition of parkies. One thing it's always meant to me was, and I've always said this, and I've said it many, many times, it's just that a parky is really just a gypsy who found their way home. And for me, Free Spirit actually started on top of a rock on Mount Scott. Which, again, it's just that it's a spirit. I mean, I can't even really say it. It's not entrepreneurial, but more of a, where am I going with this? It's just you're not helping me. You are no help.
I feel like
Let's take that back up.
The locale there, the way they've done things historically, the way everything is set up, and just the nature itself, really, to me, evokes that feeling of just sort of that intrepid do-it-yourself kind of thing. Because it still has that frontier spirit, the wild spirit.
Frontier spirit was really where I was going. It's almost like Jeep. Rock crawlers and just all the stuff that goes into that, and you're thinking,
a lot of things that are just inherently, I mean, I think American, Oklahoman, all those things trickle down right to that spot of, and it's because it's not your typical little tourist place. It's got its own character and flair and flavor, and the mountains too themselves are totally set aside from it as their own unique thing. But there's places in there, if you wander off on your own and get away from the roads and the campgrounds and all the things, where you could be transported back 100, 150 years, if it's just you and the wildlife and all this, It's a place where everything kind of melts away in a unique
Speaking of the wildlife, if you get a chance, you really should tour the wildlife refuge. Just surfing social media earlier today, I've seen multiple photos from people that I know, people that I'm close to, posting pictures of wildlife, which is incredible, actually. I get asked a lot about our name, the Buffalo Society. How did you come up with that? Where did you hear it? And honestly, again, it keeps going back to Medicine Park. But does anybody really know? Do you know how we got our name?
Well, I know. I don't know how much you want to divulge on that.
Yeah. I was just thinking, maybe if you tell us, maybe we could gift you a vinyl record or something. That would be really cool.
So, there we go. That's our audience participation for this episode. So if you can find out where we got our name, where that stems from, we'll throw you a little goodie on the side.
I promise you this, and it'll go well beyond that. The Buffalo Society will be a charitable band. So we will always be a charitable organization. That is something that, I just feel deep in my soul, and I know Matt does. So we will always be looking for ways to be charitable. Looking down through the record here, shit show, that wah pedal on that, that
I remember you
completely
had-
changed the song. I mean, it was and for good reason. The beat,
Yeah.
we're pretty clear about, we want something that people can tap their feet to, and it's simple, but yet it's complex, and yet it's all of a sudden you throw this wah in and you're like, what in the world is that?
I remember when we were up here cutting that one, you had I'd listen to
My
it.
eyes were huge. I was
And because it's, fairly simple progression. The
Three chords.
The kind of almost. I'm not sure if it's really a full-fledged key change or not.
really
But going
not.
into that chorus is a totally different feel than the verses, and the verses have this bounce to them that I felt.
Very good
And
bounce.
then sort of this kind of moody juxtaposition to that in the chorus. And you said, give me something funky, and that was the first thing that
What's
came to
it like
mind.
writing with
was
Mike?
I'm
Give me something
was
funky.
I'm thinking, I'm thinking on the one hand, I love the Dr. John and the Meters and some of the New Orleans kind of funk and feel, and
Yes.
so that sort of a wah pedal attack.
How many times
lends
have I
itself
done that to you?
Yeah,
If, if Prince and Ted Nugent had a baby,
yeah, this is what I have to go with. This is what I have to work with.
this is what I have to work with.
But that one, and then too, being a big Slash and big Guns fan, that kind of the prominence of that on stuff like Mr. Brownstone and songs like that were really wah driven, melody lines and stuff in the verses. It's not uncommon to hear on a solo here and there, obviously, but to hear it as a really integral part of a core or part of a verse, I thought was kind of cool, and it did give it kind of a funk feel, but
It's funky.
But it was that was a fun one to do, and again that was one I think we did maybe two takes on.
I like to keep it like that, because again, music is really simple. I mean, once you've listened to it, that is your rehearsal, really.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, you get it in your bones, your
Get
soul,
under your
if you
fingers,
will.
yeah.
Yeah, and then once you figure that out, you should be able to do it. And honestly, I like doing it that way.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I think that keeps it one simplistic, but
Simple.
But we could, we got into a little bit of this trying to master. Was you get?
well, that was a whole different
that was our
animal there,
first rodeo
No.
on that. But to really just nitpick it and get into the minutia of what you want it to feel like and sound like, you can go nuts.
I mean,
you know what I mean. We could still be locked up here.
We
trying to master it,
We
yeah.
could be, because this was the goal from the beginning, and this was the thought process behind it all.
But to do everything in a couple takes, to do everything the way it was done, kind of helps.
To be mastered for vinyl.
Yeah, to
That's
kind of
where
helps
it's different.
keeps you out of your own head, because you have that tendency as a creative person. We're our own worst critics.
Oh, always.
And so, that could have been. I don't know if I like that. No, you just go.
I'll still listen to it.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
Still listen to it today and go, God, I wish I could have that one back. Or,
Yeah.
What was I thinking?
but it's out there.
Or
And-
Matt Crap one on that one. I mean, but here's the thing about it. We've said it many times. Of course, obviously the name of our website's Live at Lucky 9 Ranch. The idea behind that is, and obviously we can't do everything live.
Right.
We know that. We're not some Milli Vanilli, but we are the guys actually putting this out.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of you. I mean, you create something, you give birth to this, and you want to see it through. And like I said, we're all trying to create a brand. We're all trying to do that, if we're being honest. We've talked about Medicine Park a lot, and I've said that before. I mean, it's being able to go down there, a big music town. That's one of the things I love about it the most, honestly. You can go down there on any given Friday night. We wrote a song about it. Shameless plug. You can go down there on any Friday night and see, 2, 3, 4, sometimes 4 live performances in this little town in the mountains, and it's just perfect. And it's just all those things. And that's one of the reasons that I wanted to do this, because it gives you a chance to be heard.
Yeah.
And just like the idea of having Lucky 9. This equipment, and to give you a voice, like you said, a platform. Whereas maybe you say, I write and I play, but I'm not to where you guys are.
Right.
And that's how we help each other, you know, and really as indie artists, that's really where it's at. You know, I talk a lot about physical media and merchandise, and that is the thought process behind Lucky Nine Ranch and how we're able to help you. You know,
Yeah.
when you support us in that way, we're able to give back to local and some not local artists. Some older artists, you know, or like Matt's mentioned in the past, some of these up and comers, maybe you haven't heard of them, but you know, give you an opportunity to just feel music.
Yeah. And like I said, I think with, as we mentioned before, with some of the advancements in just in the tech that we're able to sort of, be masters of your own domain as far as this stuff is concerned to say this, but that's
Look at Oliver Anthony.
that's a creative wall that I think a lot of people hit is they go, well, I've got this material or these songs, or even maybe I've been playing live some, but I don't know what the next step is. I don't know, where do I go from here? And the fact of the matter is probably the real shame that a lot of people have hit that wall, and that's as far as they've gone.
Oh, it is a shame.
And, so we've all been deprived of probably, a lot just because the next step was so intangible before, just with the status quo of the music
When
industry.
you just
and
can't
like you
see
mentioned.
how to get
Yeah.
beyond it.
You're
just so much
standing
to
at
it.
one edge of this, looking across, going, well, how do I get there? And so I'm not saying we're the answer, but we're happy to be a stepping stone.
We can actually help.
yeah.
I mean, and again, we're all doing the same thing. So we help you, you help us. And, that's the beautiful thing about it. We're just a couple of guys that love music who just happen to have some fairly decent equipment.
Yeah.
And, we're going to keep pouring ourselves out there. And, that's just the truth of it. Looking down through there, we got Queen of Hearts. That's actually one of the first songs that
That's been around for a while.
Yeah, it's been around a while. Started putting it together early on. It's different, fun, playful. I keep going back to the fun and playful. And then Whole World. Whole World's an interesting take on where we find ourselves in today's world. I mean, that's why it's called Whole World. The idea that you do not know your neighbor, you do not know your family member, you do not know your friend in such a politically divided world. And that's really what that song's about.
Yeah. And just as polarized as things are
polarized.
in the world, there's barriers that don't even exist in reality that people have put up in their minds about their neighbors and about their friends, and they think they know you better than you know you, and they want to try to pass judgment on you based on what they think you think, and they don't have a clue who you are.
They really don't know you. Neighbor on neighbor, family on family. I mean, it's an interesting place that we find ourselves, and I think about that a lot. I really do. I mean, and I know many of you do as well. I mean, I've had situations where maybe the way I feel about something, somebody else takes issue with, and then I'm like, should I feel that way? And then at the end of the day, I'm like, look, I mean, I'm good. Like, I'm okay to feel the way that I feel, just like they are, But like you said, it's just a very polarizing world that we live in, and
there's a Patrick Stump song where he says the good news is everybody gets to have an outlet. The bad news is everybody gets to have an outlet.
Yeah,
and so, I mean, that's kind of what social media has done for us in the last 10, 15 years is everybody has a voice, but do we need to hear from everybody?
Aren't those keyboard warriors?
Yeah, everybody
beautiful?
has a voice, but do we need to hear it? No. And so again, that's just kind of that's one just really just commentary on, the world we find ourselves in. So I mean, all these were, and then there's nothing wild. There's no fantastical. These were all coming from a place of experience or reflection or just observance about the world around us. And so I mean,
somebody asked me about one of those songs, and that's literally what I told them. I said, if you want to know where I was at in that moment, listen to the song.
Yeah,
that's literally where I was at. Listen to the song.
Yeah.
And I know you feel the same way. You write the same way. I mean, it's a moment by moment thing, and that's what makes music beautiful.
There's a Leonard Skinner documentary that I watch far too often, but it's called I think it's called If I Leave Here Today, and so it's got a lot of the surviving members at the time that it was made just a few years ago together. But one of the members mentions, they ask, given that Ronnie passed away in the plane crash, what was he like? What was he really like? And he said, I tell him the same thing every time. Listen to any 4 songs he ever wrote. Any 4 songs he ever wrote, and that's all you need to know. And so, I mean, I feel like this is a record that we come through on as far as what we think, how we feel. It's out there in that kind of transparency.
But I think that's how we have to approach music.
Yeah.
That's just for me personally. You keep things simple. You keep things acoustic. I don't like the whole auto tune coming in here and making you sound like Ozzy.
Doesn't mean we couldn't use a little of it, but
yeah, not that we don't use a little bit of it. I'm just saying that
we might
you
need
want to
some, but we don't.
preserve the integrity
Yeah.
of what you're trying to do. And I will tell you, we're sitting here September 1st, 2025. This was our goal from the beginning. Mm-hmm. We reached that goal. I'm a goal guy. I love goals. I can tell you, I'm super, super, super excited about the sophomore album. It's going to be legit. Cannot wait for you guys to hear some of the stuff we got coming out on this. Yeah. We'll be back here in a minute to wrap this up.
Getting serious now.
I'm getting serious, man. So the idea is, if you want to be a rock star, Matt,
you got to look like one.
You got to start acting like one. So that's the truth behind it. So, hey, you guys, I'm Mike.
Matthew.
We are the Buffalo Society, and you're listening to the Stampede Podcast, episode 1. Really excited about some of the things we have coming. Talked to a lot of artists, really. I mean, I try to get out. I'll be real honest with you guys. Sometimes that's challenging. I love live music. I love getting out and listening to all of you. Been able to make a lot of friends through music. And that's another reason that I'm just so passionate about the idea of being able to do this. Really excited about the opportunities that Lucky 9 Ranch provides us, and then also any of you, and so there'll be opportunity. I guess is what I'm saying. Opportunity for you. You say, well, I'm like you. I'm having a hard time trying to balance my time and relationships and work and all the things that go into life. And I really just want to write, and I really just want to play, and I really just want to, I just want to do music and not do all the stuff that comes with it. And that's the idea really behind Lucky 9, and the idea that you can be heard, because really at the end of the day, that's really all we all want, is just to be heard. I mean, otherwise we wouldn't write and record music, would we?
Right.
Yeah.
So I said that's been a fun thing about this process is knowing that it'll get to that point of, okay, are we ready for people to hear this? And so that's something I think we wrestled with until we're happy with it. And so that's, and exciting to know, okay, if there's something we didn't feel like we got to do on this one or express on this one, we'll do another one. So that's something we're excited about working on the next one. Have, more to come on that. But so this podcast is not just going to be us sitting around talking. We'll invite other people to sit around and talk.
No, you're going to get to hear from a lot of different people, and some that you've heard of. Like I said, some of them maybe that you haven't heard of. They're just trying to carve their niche in this music world, and you know, like I said, that's how we all help each other, and we're all just trying to build a brand.
Yeah.
I mean,
And we've got so we've got a few guests lined up. We're going to be able to get on the show, but we still have some availability, and they're still always looking for new voices and people to take advantage of this platform. So if you go over to our website, live at Lucky Nine.
live at lucky9ranch.com.
There's a tab over there about the podcast, and you guys will be able to navigate through that. And down there's a little section down there that says if you're interested in trying to get on the show, give us a
Or if you have questions,
yeah.
whatever.
There's an email there. You can shoot us an email.
You can also download the media release link.
We'll send you can email us. We'll send that over to you, and we can go from there. But yeah, we're excited to give other people a platform and break into a world that's tough to get into on your own.
And really hear your story. You
Yeah.
know, your story and how music has impacted you, and the story behind your songs, the story behind your life. It's really just the catalyst for being able to share your story.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. What else?
Trying to think what else we mentioned Joe a time or two already. I'll get something else in there about that.
Yeah, we can get a copy of his card, and we'll get him some video and stuff too. But yeah.
Okay, let's just do like a big thank you for watching, listening, send off thing. We'll be all right.
So again, you're listening to the Stampede podcast at Lucky Nine Ranch. Let's start over. Again, you are listening to the Stampede podcast at Lucky Nine Ranch. I'm Mike.
And I'm Matthew. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We hope we got to share a little bit more about this record and who we are with you guys. Excited to hear from you and get some feedback. And we're excited for things to come, next episodes, and get a chance to hear from you guys. So follow us on all our social media. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out on Twitter. And go by our website.
Visit the website.
Yeah, we've got a fully stocked web store. Shameless plug. We got a lot of merch.
Got a lot of shameless plugs.
And we'd be very happy to send it to you, provided you pay for it.
Absolutely.
So, we got hats, T-shirts. Again, we have big on physical media. We've got vinyl records. We've got CDs, and of course, you're able to stream our music as well.
And again,
Apple,
guys,
Spotify.
this is how you help each other. You know, we support each other. We buy physical media. We buy each other's merchandise. That goes directly to the artists. That is a part of them. Yep. They've created it. You've listened to us talk about how important the artwork for us is. And I know that for you musicians, it's equally as important to you. So, we just want to hear your story.
Absolutely.
And again, at the end of the day, we all just want to be heard. Thank you again for listening. Matt, thank you for your time.
You bet. Join us next time right here on the Stampede Podcast.
See you then.